We're going to talk about how you find the median or the middle value of a list of numbers. And the first thing you want to do is order your numbers from least to greatest or smallest to largest. So for number one, let's order our numbers from least to greatest, starting with 3, and making sure that I cross out each number. That way I know I used it. Then we have 6, followed by 11. Then we have 15. And finally, 20. Now that I ordered my numbers from least to greatest, you then want to cross out in pairs of 2. You're going to cross out your smallest value, followed by your largest value, and continue to do that until you get 1 or 2 numbers left over. So let's cross out our smallest value, 3, followed by 20. Then our next smallest is 6, followed by our next largest, which is 15. And you're going to notice that you end up with 1 number left, and that's 11. That's going to be your median or your middle value of the data set. And when you're dealing with an odd amount of numbers in a data set, in this case we had 5 numbers in our entire list, whenever you have an odd data set, you're always going to end up with 1 number left, and that's going to be your answer right away. And you're going to notice when we deal with the even list in the next problem, you're not going to have as an easy of a time getting the answer. Okay, so let's take a look at number 2. Let's order our numbers from least to greatest. We have 7, again crossing out, make sure I use it. Then we have 11, followed by 14. Then we have 15, 19, and finally 23. Order them from least to greatest. Now let's cross out in pairs of 2. Cross out our smallest value, our largest value, next smallest, next largest. And you're going to come across a scenario now where you have 2 numbers left. And we cross out in pairs of 2. But if I cross out 14, I have to cross out 15, which leaves me with no numbers left. So this is the scenario we get when we deal with an even list. You first need to add them together. So 14 plus 15 is going to give us a sum of 29. And once you get your sum, you simply want to divide it by 2. And 29 divided by 2 is going to give us 14 and 5/10, or 14.5, which is going to end up right in between those 2 numbers that we were dealing with. So our median or our middle value for number 2 is 14.5 or 14.5. Now, before you go, I want you to try 2 problems on your own. I encourage you to pause the video here, try out 3 and 4, and then let's see how you do, right? So I'm assuming you did 3 and 4, you paused the video, you think you have the correct answers. Now let's go over them. So for number 3, we're going to order from least to greatest. So we have 11, followed by 13, then we have 15, 19, 20, and finally we have 30, and it looks like we're dealing with an even list here, so I know there's going to be 2 numbers left after I cross out my pairs. So 11's crossed out, followed by 30, then we have 13 and 20, and now we have 2 numbers left, so we have to add them together. So 15 plus 19 is going to give me a sum of 34, and then we have to take that sum and divide it by 2, and we'll end up getting a median or a middle value of 17, which is going to be perfectly in between those 2 numbers that we were dealing with. So hopefully you got 17 for number 3, that even list. And now let's try an odd list for number 4. Again, let's order from least to greatest. So we have 10 this time as our smallest. Then we got 14, 16. Then we have 19. We have 23, 28. And finally, we have 31. Again, let's cross out in pairs of 2. We have 10 and 31 crossed out. 14 and 28, 16 and 23, and notice how for an odd list you get 1 number left over, which is going to be your median or your middle value of 19. I hope this video helps you guys out in finding the median or the middle value of a data set. I appreciate you all for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.